Alright, I had to hook up this Marantz. This one's got a dead bulb. The other one sold yesterday, and I think that guy's going to be pretty happy with that. And he got the Klipsch speakers, so I'm just running these speakers. This one, I don't think this one really sounds quite as clean as the other one did. I've heard this thing with the Marantz. They said the low power ones actually have like the purest stuff. Well, you know, I don't know. Anyway, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna put over here. I'm actually thinking I might actually put the Techniques over there. But if I'm not gonna listen to it, then I don't really want it over here. I could put a radio over here too. Might be easier to put a radio over here, or like a ham radio, because all this isn't going back onto the desk anymore. I'm running the ICOM right now. I put this up here. I'm going to try to get some wood behind here. I've got to do some other craziness. I've got it's an 8-foot long piece. We're just going to shove it back in there because it's the correct length. And I'm going to have to pull the Johnson out of there and some other stuff. But that's good. I need to go through all that. So I got the amp on, and you can see the tubes down in here. I was trying to take a picture of that. It's like really hard to do. This thing, I don't know what the year this is from. It's not like really old. Like it's 2000s or something, I think. But I guess back then, you either could have got IMAX or RF parts tubes. And, well, these are RF parts tubes. So, I'm not really a fan of them because they do deceptive practices. They bought the name Taylor, and they stamped that name on their Chinese tubes. Well, Taylor, whenever they were around, before they got bought out, was an American tube company, just like iMac. And a company like RF Parts that has gained a reputation by selling tubes in a dying industry has purchased all these things, and they would, like, you know, put this name on the Chinese tubes, but you're getting Chinese tubes. So the RF Parts name and the Taylor name are basically the same thing. It's not Taylor tubes. And I don't like how they do that. I think that's shady. They're trying to get the old guys to think that they're buying Taylor tubes. And there's supposed to be a little more testing involved, or they're better quality tubes. They've tested them, whatever. I don't know. These tubes in this amp, to me, seem to do about the same amount as some old iMacs, and they look really new. So I'm not impressed with them. But anyway, so we got all this hooked up, and we're just gonna do some testing later on. I haven't used this amp since I had it hooked up to the 7300, and it caused the 7300 to just shut down one day. And I think what it was is I turned it on, and the field collapsed in the transformer, and it made it do something weird. But yeah, it's a cool amp. I'd rather have the Ten-Tec Titan, except for the fact that the Titan has the external power supply. It's too bad it doesn't do legal limit. It does between 9 and 1200. So I'd love to be able to do really close to my 1500 watts. The guys that say it doesn't make a difference have never had a 900 watt amp versus a 1500 watt amp. There's a difference. Sometimes it's not noticeable, but there's a difference. And it's always nice to have a little headroom. It's not really important. And most of the time, almost all the time, I don't use an amplifier. It's just too much hassle. So I don't really care. I don't really believe in using an amplifier to talk to other people locally if they can hear me good. If they can't hear me good, I'll turn the amplifier on, but, you know, there's no reason to run it just because. So, anyway, I put the Kenwood transmitter down here. I don't know what I'm going to do with the down area here. I actually might put a computer down here. That might actually be a good option. So we'll see.